Hey guys, my name is Jessica Bolin. I'm the building construction teacher here at Auburn High School. Okay, so this video, my career tech, the, the first course within my program that is a required prereq for all of the other courses is called Architecture, Construction, and Manufacturing. This class is basically a construction 101. It introduces students to things like construction site safety and OSHA and how OSHA plays a huge role within the construction industry. We'll cover basic employability skills. We'll introduce students to construction related math, so applying what they're learning in the academic math course to a real world practical scenario. We'll also get into some estimating. Students will learn about hand tools and power tools and become proficient in using a variety of these tools. Students will also learn how to interpret a set of construction drawings and specifications. So the set of plans and specs that we have for our class are actually for a building located here in Auburn, and they learned how to navigate between the various pages and what the symbols mean and the abbreviations and things like that. It basically introduces them to the world of plans and specs. And how that correlates to architectural scales and engineering scales and how all of that kind of correlates to a project estimate. So it's a very brief overview, but it does introduce them to things that we use every day in the industry. Students will also be introduced to a variety of materials and methods, how to install certain materials while building a project. And students will also see the various career opportunities within the industry. This is also the course that students will earn their NCCER core certification and the first course that students would be eligible to join our Skills USA student organization. This slide is just showing one of our current projects that we have right now. It is a barn playhouse. So these are some of the introductory students working on that. And the picture on the right is when my introductory students this semester were introduced to hand tools. So the next course that I suggest for my students to take once they have satisfied that required introductory course is construction framing. And this introduces students to all of the framing components of a typical residential project. We will also cover safety because safety is the most important thing in industry and also in this simulated workplace environment. So we will continue to cover safety throughout every semester and every course, regardless of which one it is. But the framing course specifically introduces students to grades and types of lumber, the varieties of formwork, and how to construct formwork. We will also introduce students to concrete materials, and then we get into the actual framing components of a structure. So the floor system up to the wall system, then ceiling, and then onto the roof and how to lay out and cut rafters. We will also introduce students to a typical stair construction, so like laying out a set of stairs and cutting a stair stringer. We'll also continue to introduce students to employability skills and career opportunities because at the end of the day, that's our goal, is to have our students placed in the workplace, making a positive contribution to our community. Another second level course that I offer throughout my program is construction finishing. In this course, we introduce students to many aspects, basically from the structure onward. So we built the structure in construction framing, and now we're taking it from that point forward. Again, we cover safety because that is the most important thing in here. We will also introduce students to how to properly install windows and doors and properly flash so we don't have any water penetration through the building envelope. We will introduce students to a variety of materials within plumbing and electrical fields, and we will also go over insulation and the pros and cons of each type. We will cover exterior and interior wall coverings, a variety of finishes, both exterior and interior. We will cover estimating again and build upon those fundamental estimating skills that we learned in the intro course. And again, we will continue to cover the various career opportunities and employability skills that are necessary to succeed in the construction industry. The picture on the left is a shed that we are building in partnership with Habitat for Humanity, and once we are finished, it will be moved to one of the Habitat for Humanity houses here in Auburn. The picture on the right is a castle playhouse. We are installing the drawbridge in this picture. These are some additional pictures of the Habitat for Humanity shed project that we are currently building. Another second level course that I offer in my program is site preparation, and this encompasses everything in the beginning phase of a project. So again, we're covering safety continuously throughout all my classes, but then we get into planning a structure and its location and how to lay out that structure once we are mobilized to a job site. The process of using a builder's level, and we will also introduce students to the various types of foundations and concrete materials, formwork. We will also introduce students to masonry, and we will continue to build upon those fundamental estimating skills that we learned in the intro course and how it pertains to creating more of an in-depth project estimate. And again, we'll cover career opportunities and employability skills and who's involved in the front end planning processes of a construction project, and then also what employability skills would be necessary to have one of those type jobs. So it's been a couple semesters since I've taught this, but last time I taught this, one of the projects we did was the outdoor classroom down by the creek in the front of the school. And so we had to lay out the location of the 4 benches that you see in the picture on the right, as well as plan it, come up with the estimate. We had a Google SketchUp model, and it was a really fun project. So I want to really briefly show you a couple of our previous projects. This was a main project of ours. It was a mobile tiny house. We were the first high school group to build a mobile tiny house. We ended up selling it to a local gentleman who currently has it at Lake Harding, and it was a great project. We learned a lot, and we have high hopes for starting another one in the fall. These are just a couple more pictures. The one on the left is a desk that we built for a teacher here on campus, and the one on the right was from our field trip to Auburn University's McWhorter School of Building Science. So they gave us a tour of both the architecture and the building science program, and then Rayburn gave us a tour of one of their job sites that they had on campus. So again, my name is Ms. Bolin. I'm the construction teacher here at Auburn High School. If you have any questions, you can email me at jwbolin@auburnschools.org, or you can call the school at 334-887-2120. Just a little bit about myself. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Building Science from Auburn University. This is my 4th year at Auburn High School. And to see any more of our progress pics, feel free to hit us up on social media on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Big School Tiny House. Thanks, guys. Bye. The readiness indicator that I offer throughout my program is called NCCER Core. NCCER is short for National Center for Construction Education and Research, and this is basically a nonprofit foundation that provides construction-focused curriculum. It's developed by industry professionals and recognized by contractors and trade associations throughout the nation. Student organization is Skills USA, and this offers students opportunities to learn and practice personal, workplace, and technical skills. These 3 components comprise the Skills USA framework, which is basically a blueprint for career readiness. Students will conduct a full program of work, and they will have the opportunity to compete at the district and state level in the spring. This video is going to give you an overview of my program and the classes that I offer throughout my program. The first one we will talk about is Architecture, Construction, and Manufacturing, and that is the introductory course. It's required before you take any of the other following 3 options, which are second level courses: framing, finishing, and site prep.